Hi, boys and girls. How are you today? I bet you might not even be inside today. It is beautiful outside. Oh, what? You're wondering what's wrong with Buttons. He's very sad because he saw the snow and he wanted to go out to play, but he doesn't have any mittens to wear. And I was afraid he would get a little too chilly. I'm silly that way. What? Okay, he says he forgives me, but I brought him a surprise in. Do you want to see what his surprise is? Since he couldn't go out for the snow to play in the snow, I brought the snow to him. What do you think? Ooh, ooh, ooh. See, it's cold, isn't it? Oh, he likes it. Oh, what is in the snow, Buttons? What's he got? He's got a mouthful of snow. And he has something else in his mouth. What was it? Oh my goodness. There are mittens all over the snow. There's button mittens all in the snow. Just for Buttons. Who else is in here, Buttons? Who do you see? Who is this? Oh, he says that is Winnie. And this is Jack. They are our weather friends, aren't they? And they've got the right coats on and their hats just for the snow outside. I bet when you were out, did you have boots on too? Yeah, you need boots. Did it go inside of your boots? It is really deep out there, isn't it? But it's so much fun. Our story today has something to do with mittens, but we need to do one more thing. What do you think it is, Mittens? Or Mittens. I called him Mittens. That's not his name, is it? What's his name? Do you remember? It has to do with these. Buttons. That's right. It's Buttons. I'm looking at our calendar over there. There's a hole in our calendar. What do you think is missing? The date. That's right. And it was attached to Buttons, but it slipped off. Buttons wants to show you. It's number 3. That's what we have to put up. And we have another surprise for him. Let's put number 3 up. Push Buttons. Okay, we've got the 3. Do you see we have the 3 up? What's the matter? Buttons, what's wrong? I know, it's a little different. It's another month. I told him it's February. It's no longer January. It's another month. There are 12 months in a year, and we're on number 2 month, the second month. It is, can you tell them? He's going to be shy. What? Oh, he says it's February, and the date tomorrow will be February 3rd when you are probably watching this. Okay, so are you going to come back now? He's going to come back. All right. Can I read the story? Okay, what are you going to do? Do you want to sit and play in the snow? Okay, I'll let you play in the snow. Okay, but don't get too wet. Okay, all right. I'm going to put him aside with Jack and Winnie, and he'll go sit in the snow. Okay. All right. Now, what story do you think we're going to read today? You're right, The Mitten. I have the story, The Mitten, by Jan Brett. Here we go. It is adapted from a folk tale. Jan Brett put it into words in a book, and she illustrated it. A folk tale is a story that was never written down, and it was just told from person to person to person. So this is very, very old, but Jan Brett wrote it and put it in a book, okay? So I might have to adjust this, okay, because I want you to see the pictures. The pictures are so important in this story. Let's see. There we go. Can you see that? This is just the page where they usually dedicate to somebody. Here we go. How's this? Is this better? And this one is actually, it says for Sylvia Kyle, Ruth Ann Johnson, Rebecca Lim, and Tad Beagley. But I wanted you to see with Jan Brett's books, on the sides of her pages is always a sneak peek into what's going to happen into the next page. So there is a little boy. Let's see what happens to him. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. Do you see what's on the edges? Yes, his Baba is on the edges. That must be his grandma, but he calls him Baba, calls her. At first, his grandmother, Baba, did not want to knit white mittens. She said if you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally Baba made them. He's carrying the yarn balls to her. After she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens. So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. Can you see that mitten? His other one's tucked in his belt, but this one fell off. And look at our side page. There's a new friend coming. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was so cozy and warm and just the right size. So he decided to stay. Do you see what's next? A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in. Oh my goodness, how's he gonna fit? He went in feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. There they are. They're both fitting into the mitten. There's a sneak. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. Would you argue with a hedgehog? Oh boy. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly left him in. Do you see what's next? Oh boy. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left. But when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in when the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth. They gave the fox lots of room. Do you see what's coming next? What will they do? A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be. But what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged too many times its size. But Baba's good knitting held fast. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wriggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. They're all in the mitten, and she's on the nose. And look at Nicky. Uh-oh, he sees something. The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Achoo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. Look at the pictures of Nicky. He's running. Look what's up in the sky. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten, silhouetted against the blue sky. Oh my goodness, look at all these animals. They got all tuckered out. They flew when the mitten burst. There he is. As he ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. Look at his pair of mittens. Look at the two different sizes. What do you think Baba thought? Did she think, I wonder what happened to his mittens? I knitted those both the same size. Do you think Nicky told her what happened? He didn't know what happened, did he? He didn't know it was missing. But all those animal friends, they went into that cozy, warm mitten. Were they being kind to each other? That's our special word, isn't it? They were being kind, weren't they? Even though some had sharp teeth, sharp diggers, big kickers, all those things. And it was the little mouse who sat on the bear's nose that made the mitten explode. I like that story. I hope you did too. And I want to tell you, boys and girls. Oh, excuse me. I'm being notified by somebody. Oh, yes, I know. I left him alone too long. Oh, he's got a little bit of snow on his. He must have been playing with Jack and Winnie. Okay, was that fun? Okay, Did you help Jack slide down the snow? Okay, all right. So what did you want to tell them? Did you have something to tell them? Okay, what is it? Oh, okay. Buttons wanted to remind me, to remind you that there'll be another video for a craft having to do with this book, The Mitten. What do you think it could be? Do you think it's something white, like the snowy white mittens? What do you think? Do you think it could be white? I think you might be right. So you watch for the video that has to do with our mitten, okay? Our craft one. You can watch that. And then also, too, you can go into her library. You can get your craft bag there and then watch it or do it vice versa, okay? So I just wanted to let you know, if you ever want to read the books that I read to you, go to the library and take them out and you can sit and look at all the beautiful pictures. What? Oh, okay. Button says it's time to go. All right. I know you want to go play with the snow again. He wants to go play in the snow some more. All right. So what do we say to the boys and girls? What? He says to have fun. Oh. He wants you to remember to always be, what's that word? I heard somebody say it. Kind. Always be kind whenever you're playing or you're at school. Always be kind, okay? Buttons want you to do that. All right. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.